Hi friends, today we're going to be planting a last minute tomato bed for some paste tomatoes so that we can make a bunch of sauce. We actually just the other day watched a great video by this sweet old Italian man that I will link in the description if you want to watch it, that inspired us to plant this extra bed so that we can have a bunch of tomatoes, so that we can make a bunch of tomato sauce, because we do eat a lot of pasta, and so it'll be really nice to be able to have a good kickstart to canning and everything. That's going to be new for me this year, and so having this bed is going to be really nice so that we can have a bunch of tomatoes for that. And the chickens are hanging out with me here today, so you're going to see them probably as I'm gardening. They might jump up here and interfere, but for the most part I think they're just going to hang out and keep us company as we're gardening. So I have a few started here already, and they are kind of mysteries. I don't really know what they are because their labels got messed up. If you're not new, you know that I have trouble with my labels. Hi, Jane. She's coming up to hang out. Hopefully she doesn't bother my tomatoes, otherwise I'll have to kick her off. But so these 7 tomatoes here, I think I'm going to keep 4 of them and put them in the middle, and then I'm going to get rid of the 2 weakest looking ones, and then I'm going to plant around the edge all paste. They're Italian super paste tomatoes and aroma tomatoes that are determinates. And so I think on the corners I'll do 4 determinates, and then the 8 on the inside, outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll be the indeterminate Italian paste super Italian paste tomatoes. I've been getting the seeds this year. I got them from True Leaf Market. I really like their seeds a lot. They have good germination rate, and their plants normally come out pretty strong. So this is approximately a 4-foot by 4-foot area, and so I'm gonna just do a rough square footage here, and I'll end up with 16 plants at the end. Oh, I'm gonna dig this deeper actually. I'm gonna plant these deep so that they can grow extra roots out of their sad stems. There we go, that'll be nice. Okay. So that's one. Don't you dare eat that. Okay. And then I'm gonna do this one. This one looks really good. But I'm gonna take off these 2 sets of bottom leaves. And then I'll put this one here. And I'll dig this hole extra deep. So this here in the center is a sprinkler. Charles bought this for me for a Christmas present. And if you're familiar with Stardew Valley, it's very reminiscent of the little sprinklers that they have in Stardew Valley, and that's why he bought it for me, because I'm a big fan of that game. And Harvest Moon, but more recently Stardew Valley, because it is such a great game. And so it's nice to be able to come out here and do some gardening with the chickens. It's all very reminiscent of the game. It's probably one of the reasons why I enjoy gardening so much, because I've been playing games like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon since I was a little kid. This one's pretty sad. These 2 are sad, so this one, and you think this one? Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna come over here, and then I'll plant this one here. So I have been making a fair amount of sauce for us for our pastas, but I'm really excited this year to get into canning so that they can, I can store them and I'll just be able to make more all at once, because it is a bit of a labor to make them. So to be able to make more all at once and then to have it be shelf stable will be incredibly helpful. So this garden bed, we put this together maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and we've always had pretty good luck with tomatoes out of this bed. So I think this bed's gonna be happy with being a purely tomato bed. And then once I'm done planting all the tomatoes, I will come through and plant a couple basil seeds and maybe a couple marigold seeds, just like around the edge of the bed, just for a little bit of companion planting, because they do like having some companion plants, especially marigolds and basil, because they both really help keep those the bugs away that eat the tomato plants. So that's very nice. And now I'm just gonna quickly go around and plant those seeds like I was saying. And then we'll have this bed all set up with 16 more tomato plants. How exciting. Okay, so while I finished planting this bed out with these new seeds, I figured I'd tell you a little bit about the bed itself and how we restored it. So I am just finishing up these tomatoes. They are indeterminate tomatoes, by the way, to the best of my knowledge, all of the seeds that I'm planting right now. I don't know about the transplants. So Charles really initiated this project, and so he came in. This is what the bed looked like, and he's gonna blow out all of the dead plants. It hadn't rained for a while before this, luckily, so the plants in here were pretty dead and chewed up. Between the deer and the chickens, they like come in here and just chew off any fresh growth. So he blew that all out, and then he has this fun weed trimmer. It's like a weed whacker, but it has a nice brush, like a blade on it. And so he's cutting down into the dirt a little bit and getting rid of all of the rest of the plants that are growing. We built this bed a few years ago out of railroad ties. That's what the big pieces of wood there are. And then we have 2x4s on the one side. And we had tomatoes in this bed for 2 years. And then for the last 2 years, the first year there was kind of like some volunteers that came up. And then last year it was just, it's been overgrown for the last 2 years now. So now he's going to blow out all of the stuff that he cut down. So it's very exciting to use this bed again. I didn't think that we were going to use it again this year, but here we are. Okay, so now that he did that, he's going to come through and he is using his pickaxe to just like deeply loosen up all the soil. Not quite tilling, not quite turning, but just getting everything nice and loosened up and aerated a bit. I have made sauce before a bunch of times, but this is my first year I'm really getting into canning. The only things I've really canned have been jellies and jams and some pickles, but I'm quite excited to be planting all of these tomatoes and have their like sole purpose be going towards sauces. So keep your eyes peeled for a big canning video in the future. Charles is finishing up here, and we did look out with these railroad ties because they were just on our property. But yes, so he finished that up, and then he got his handy scooter and his bucket, and he came through and he got a bunch of dirt out of our dirt delivery. This is mushroom compost that we had delivered maybe in the middle or beginning of May. And I am very surprised at how far it's been going. We've been able to use it for quite a few different projects, and even after this, we still have some left. So here he is, loading up that bucket on the scooter. He's driving off, and here he comes. So he's already dumped a little bit of the dirt on the bed after he tilled it up with the pickaxe. And so he's just going to get this bed the rest of the way filled up. And then after he does that, I'm going to come in and I'm going to rake it all out and even it out. So as you can see here, that's the weed whacker that he was using. It's great. It's a Husqvarna brand. If anybody's looking for garden tools, they're just a really great brand that we've been using recently. As you can see, next to that is the side of this garden bed that's not the railroad ties, and it's the 2x4s. And because we haven't used it in a few years and it's about 5 years old at this point, the dirt has pushed that wood completely out, and so it is it is quite overflowing there, and we haven't totally finished like fixing up the edges of it here, but we wanted to get the tomatoes planted out as quickly as possible, so we wanted to get the new dirt in here. They're coming to see what we're doing. Hi! Hi! So as we were getting everything ready, the chickens became very interested in what we were doing, and so we took a little break and said hi to the chickens so you can enjoy this nice chicken time. We've had the chickens for about a year, and well, they're about a year old now. We got them in August, so they're about a year old now, and most of them are pretty okay with me petting them now. They're still a little bit skittish. And so here we have the bed. After I raked it out, I poured some organic fertilizer in there, and then I raked that in as well. Okay, so we have the raised bed all set up here, and we have this nice sprinkler. I'm gonna get a close-up of the nice sprinkler here. And we've never used it before, but we're about to try it right now and see how it works, because I have it set on kind of low, but we don't know how far it's gonna shoot. So I'm gonna step back a little bit here, and Charles is going to turn on the hose. Hopefully it just works. Oh, I hear it. Oh! Okay. That's far. Okay. Ow, it's hot. Okay, shut it off. Yep. Okay, I'm standing more back and I turned it down. It's hot. It's still hitting me, but much less. So that's pretty good. I got to see if I can change how much it's getting sprayed. I think I can change that. Okay, maybe it'll spray more now. Okay, now I turned it down, or I changed the spray, but oh, that is more spray. Like, that's good. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so after we got all of that set up and we got the bed nice and filled with fresh dirt and we got the sprinkler working, now we're back and I'm just finishing up the last few seeds. When we left off before, I was doing the ones in the corners, and now I'm just finishing up the ones on the sides. And these are the super paste tomatoes that I'm planting 8 of around the edges on the outside. Okay, so we just got all those planted, and now I'm going to turn on this new sprinkler, and I'm going to get these all watered in very nicely. This is going to be a fence that's going to protect us from the chickens, basically. Maybe deer a little bit, but the chickens just won't stay out of here. So we've got good chicken wire. Boop. Ah, the wood in question he didn't cut off yet. The whole side of this was blown out, and now it's not. Perfect.
Came on nail.
It re-blew out when he was doing the sawing.
Oh, there's just enough.
I was wondering if there was going to be enough. I was like, I'm not going to say anything. It's probably going to be fine. It's perfect. Look at that. all the way to the end of the roll, pretty much. That'll keep the chickens out of here. Okay, thanks for watching us plant that out and restore our bed. Here it is about a week later. The transplants are doing really well, and around the edges we have sprouts coming up from all of the little seeds that we planted, a couple weed seeds, morning glory seeds as well, and a little transplant that I got that volunteered around the garden that I'm interested to see what it becomes. And so we have all these little sprouts, and once they get a little bit bigger than these ones, then I will thin them out and we'll have our nice new bed ready. So if you like the video, please like the video, and if you want to see how this bed turns out and if I'm able to turn it into sauce, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Go on.